Hi, I'm Sheila Belanger, a strategic transformation coach, and I'm here with this week's transformational tip. Remember, I'm starting to do these as a way to give you inspiration, a kind of short term blessing coaching to say, stay with it, okay? And today I want to honor the concept from process work of the high dream. Now, process work or process oriented psychology is an amazing methodology and worldview. I highly encourage you to go check it out. Process work. It came through Arnie Mindell and has been developed by his colleagues and also with his partner, Amy Mindell. And I love to think of process work as a marriage between depth psychology and quantum physics, because Arnie came to this work and it came through his psyche process work because he's both a depth psychologist and a quantum physicist. And one of the great gifts of process work is to invite us to go underneath consensus reality, the dominant patterns of thought and mindset that has to do with ordinary reality, which you've heard me say before in many of my videos. It's natural, it's part of who we are, consensus reality, our day-to-day life. But we're so much more than that. And process work has this lovely concept of the 3 levels of awareness. And they basically say that underneath consensus reality, everyday consciousness is what they call the dreamland. And it's a place where the archetypal and the mythic hang out, and we can shapeshift between roles and ideas and moods and experiences. So it's like go into the dream underneath. Don't get stuck in it's this and only this and it's not this. It's different place when you're going into the dream underneath. You're opening up to, well, what else is here? And what if I wasn't so caught in a rigid definition and I got curious about switching roles, ideas, concepts? It doesn't mean you're not clear about who you are and you don't have your core moral values and what's important to you. It's more a sense of just sort of fuzz a little bit, like a dream is when you wake up from a night dream and you're like, wow, was that real? Or did I just dream that? When you're in dreamland or you're in the dream underneath, you don't have such hard edges. You're more fluid and flowing, and you can expand into greater awareness, which can very much help us when we're struggling with consensus reality and our stuck ways and our old habits, limiting patterns, which we all have, our mindsets that are caught in this is the way reality is. So I want to come back to the encouragement from process work of what they call the high dream. And the high dream has to do with what is attracting you into the future. You know, if you could have that big vision, what's possible? If I wasn't held back by the everyday, ordinary, habitual limitations, which are there, it's not to blow them off. But what if I just took a breath and I went underneath consensus reality and just for a bit was with my dreaming? What's possible? What am I longing for? What's calling me forward? You know, one of the classic quotes about inner work is, let the longing do the work, where you really feed your vision, your calling, your longing to be a different person more than you are right now. Or what if you didn't keep trapping yourself in a small box or trapping other people or other cultures in a small box and just repeating that old limiting story that has like cobwebs and way past its shelf life? The high dream is when you really sort of get underneath consensus reality and say, what if there were no limitations? What's my heart calling me to? What's my high dream for this situation in my life? So I encourage you as a transformational tip this week, sometime take a few minutes, maybe 10, shake your body a bit. Imagine very simply that you're dropping underneath your everyday mind and you're kind of swimming in the dreams underneath. And you might just touch your heart, as I encourage you to do, and think of a situation in your life that's challenging, that you feel limited in. It could be a relationship issue with a partner or a work colleague or a family member. It could be something that you're challenged with the pandemic and all the incredible craziness in our external lives right now. It could be something in your own life where you recognize a habitual inner figure that is always holding you hostage. So notice something that feels like what process work would call the low dream. You know, just like, oh, we just keep repeating this rut. Recognize that and say, I'm going to open up to the dream underneath that takes me into the high dream. So take the situation with you and imagine you drop in to the dream underneath it and you tap into something along the lines of, what if there were no limitations? What if this situation is not what I think it is? What if this person is not going to continually behave the way I think they're always going to behave? What if I'm not going to always behave the way I think I'm going to behave in this situation or with this relationship? What if I just drop those stories, those old concepts, and just dream? Just dream. What's the high dream? What if the greatest potential possible could happen for me in this moment, for this relationship? What's the high dream for my community I carry? What would be possible? What's the high dream I carry for my country right now? What's the high dream I carry for my world, for the earth herself? Like, give some energy. Give some psychic loving energy to the high dream and let it be kind of a beacon, like a true north that calls you. So when you catch yourself, oh, I'm going back in, I'm going to have that conversation with that person, I've got to do this, and you can feel the energetic, let me just get into the box and it's always going to be like it always was. We all have that part, but take a big breath, shake your body a bit, say, go underneath. What's the dreaming? What's the high dream here? What if I spent some energy imagining a different outcome? The highest potential possible for the greatest benefit of all. Just try it. Try connecting with the high dream and giving it some juice and letting it source you. Open up the windows and doors in your consciousness, in your consensus reality awareness with love, and tap into the bigger dream underneath it all. So that's my transformational tip for you this week. Thank you for your precious gift of time and energy. May it serve you. Don't forget to check out all the videos in this channel because there's many there to support you. You might check the introductory playlist or the remedies from your inner first aid kit or anything at all. Just take good care of yourself and tap into your high dream.